Hello everyone and welcome back to Pepple's Potager. So today is April 18th, 2020. This will be my first video of the gardening season. And starting off, I'd just like to thank all the people who have subscribed to my channel. The channel is really growing. I've had a big increase of subscribers over the past month and a half or so. So for all of you that keep watching my videos, thank you. Thank you for all the great comments. And just also like to say that I have a lot of changes coming up to the garden this year. I've had a lot of repairs to do on my raised beds, and I'm going to share all that information here with you. But first, we're going to go ahead and talk about what tomatoes I'll be growing this year. Okay, first off, and this is no secret to anybody, Cherokee Purple, my #1 favorite tomato to grow. Is also my family's favorite tomato. They love to eat it on tomato sandwiches. But this is by far the best heirloom tomato I have ever grown. So comes no surprise to y'all. I grew a lot of these last year. So we're growing it again this year. Next, we have the Brandywine tomato. And I have grown Brandywine tomatoes before, but they were the pink variety. This is the red Brandywine tomato. And Brandywines, as you know, a lot of these have broad potato leaves on them. So you definitely know them when you see them. The leaves on them are very wide. So looking forward to growing these. Here is a new variety I'm growing this year. It is called the Black Pearl. It is also a cherry tomato, and it's a dark tomato just like the Cherokee Purple, but only smaller, cherry-sized tomato. And so I am looking forward to see how this one turns out. And then, not sure how this is going to turn out, but this is a container tomato by Burpee called Atlas, and it's supposed to be a very large beefsteak tomato that you can grow in containers. So I generally don't grow beefsteak tomatoes in containers, but I'm gonna try this and see how it turns out. And also you can see here that I have my tomato trays all ready, and we're going to go ahead and put some seeds in there, and then we'll go ahead and I'll take a walk around the Potager garden and show you what kind of repairs I did to the raised beds. Okay, so I've finished putting all my tomato seeds in the seed tray here, and as you can see, I have at least 6 sections of the Cherokee Purples here lined up, and that makes about 36 Cherokee Purple plants all together, and some of them may give away or may even sell some of them. I always have an overabundance of these because I have a lot of people who like to grow them as well. And then the Brandywine Red, I have at least 24 seed cells here with the Brandywine Red, and I'm really looking forward to growing these. These are the potato leaf variety, so very wide leaves on these. Can't wait to see how they turn out. And then I have the hybrids down here on the end. The Black Pearl is a cherry tomato, which is kind of like the Cherokee Purple, but it's a cherry tomato. And I'm not going to grow too many of these because I really don't need that many Black Pearl plants. So looking forward to seeing how well this one turns out. And then I have the Atlas from Burpee, and supposedly it is a large beefsteak tomato that can grow in containers, and it is also a determinate variety. So A lot of times I don't grow determinate varieties, but this will be, I believe, only the second determinate variety that I've grown. In the past, I've grown baby boomer cherry tomato plant that was determinate, but I just want to see how this determinate beefsteak tomato for containers turns out. And that's it for the tomatoes I'm growing this year. Now we can go ahead and show you what I have going on in the garden right now. Everyone, the first thing you'll notice about the Potager garden this year is that there is nothing growing right now. And I'm a little bit behind because I had to do a lot of repairs on the raised beds. And as you know from last year, you could probably tell from some of the videos, my beds were practically falling apart. And so I got around to repairing all of them, and I have painted them black, which will make the garden look fabulous. And you can also tell I've put tons of pea gravel all over the Potager garden, and that will make it a lot easier to manage, because last year I had lots of weeds and grass growing in between the pathways, and so this makes the garden a lot easier to manage. Also, I put pea gravel in the greenhouse as well, and you can see I got a lot of supplies in here right now, and my camera tripod there, and you already know I got my tomato seeds going. Also, I do have some hostas I planted some bare root hostas here, and I plan on using them in the front yard. Also, I do have some pepper seeds here as well, but I haven't started those yet. This is actually some pepper seeds we saved from a purple heirloom pepper. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. And I also have some lightning hybrid peppers. It's actually a hot pepper. But let's go ahead and take a look around the garden here just a little bit. And you can see the blackberries are doing pretty good. They're starting to get all their new growth on it. And here in a few months, or maybe even a month and a half, we'll probably have some blackberries growing. Over here I do have some Baptistas that we've been growing in pots for the past 2 years, and they're actually doing really good. They came out pretty early. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 4x4 raised beds here, a 4x8 raised bed there, 4x8 raised bed in front of the greenhouse, and another 4x8 raised bed here, and 2 more 4x8 or 4x4 raised beds here in the back. And these trees you see here are the Scarlet Spire apple trees I planted several years ago, and you can see they're doing quite well. Also behind that, if you look over here, you can see some Crimson Rocket peach trees, and I am going to mulch these trees. I haven't got to doing that yet, but as you can see, I put borders around them, and everything is looking much nicer than they were last year. And so I really can't wait to get started for gardening this year. So also, you can see the peaches has started to, they did bloom for a little while. There are still some blooms on there right now, as you can see. So I'm hoping to get some peaches and some apples this year. Don't know if I will or not. It usually takes I believe 2 to 5 years to produce fruit off of these. So that's all I have for you right now. I do have some other things coming up to show you. We eventually plan on putting a cherry tree over here in the middle of the garden. It's a dwarf cherry tree, and that will be coming in the mail. I don't know how long it'll take to get here, but we're looking forward to that as well. But that's all I have for everybody right now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I've had a lot of new subscribers here recently, and a lot of great comments. And if you have some questions for me, just leave it in the comment section, and I'll see if I can get back to you as soon as possible. So have a great weekend, everybody.